Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And I wanted to bring this picture up of this Verizon tower again. I had a lot of people asking how come this site is so short? How come, even though the pole is a bit taller, how come it's so much lower on the rack? And I'll say this again, and this is in regards to Verizon using its network as a service. When you use your network as a service, you're trying to connect any and all devices possible. It's not just the FWA part. I mean, anything, right? If there's going to be laptops in the future that are going to be connected to the network, Verizon wants to use that as part of network as a service. Smartwatches, I mean, those don't require a lot of data anyway, and I guarantee you a lot of people are wasting money on it. Even if you're paying for the data on that line, you're probably not using anywhere near the amount of data to justify the cost. I mean, it's just most of the time you have your phone with you, so you're never using the network on your smartwatch that much, right? So, but yeah, it's just network as a service. So as you're building that, right, FWA takes up a huge portion of that usage. And then the more towers you build, right, densification is a big part of network as a service. So the more towers you build, the closer you build them, the less sites you need that are really, really tall. Verizon internally calls these smacros, right? They're still macros towers, but they're shorter and they're not as tall. And when you have, like in this instant, right, there's 3 macros within like a half a mile or even less. So you don't need them as tall anymore. And as Verizon is actually willing to invest capital to making FWA and network as a service important for the company, you're going to see more of these types of macros. And in some cases, even small cells. They're really trying to make a big push. They want to be able to connect as many devices as possible outside of the mobile user. Right. So if that's business related, FWA for consumer, FWA for business, any laptops, TVs, I mean, whatever it is, Verizon wants to be able to serve it. And they know it's very hard to use network as a service when you don't invest specific capital to densifying the network specifically for it. T-Mobile, right, just to compare the strategies, T-Mobile still uses the fallow capacity model. So T-Mobile is not investing capital specifically to create more capacity for FWA and network as a service, right? T-Mobile doesn't call it that, but they use the same thing, right? It's the same thing. You have capacity, you use it, and then you load up the network. And T-Mobile is really good at doing that. So I'm a bit baffled by their decision to not use capital to create further densification for FWA and anything else that wants to connect up to the network, right? That's the vision. Anything that can connect to a network, you want to connect it. T-Mobile, their playbook, their strategy, it's very successful, and they know how to load up a network very quickly. So I wish, right, T-Mobile was pursuing using capital to fund network as a service and FWA, because they know how to load it up. But for now, the fallow capacity model has been working for T-Mobile, so really no complaints there. And Verizon is continuing to deploy, right? They have many, many, many more sites now in these areas versus T-Mobile, right? And that's just for my market, right? I'm a mid-sized market. Verizon has less share than T-Mobile, but Verizon has very high usage across the network. And T-Mobile, right, they have a lot of share in the market, like 37% and growing. So 2 different strategies, 2 different sets of strategies. I think Verizon's strategy will prevail more for the future, right? So the Verizon's prepared for whatever comes. Whatever's coming, Verizon's prepared. Like if laptops launch with 5G on board, Verizon's prepared, or more prepared or better prepared. If a new Vision Pro somehow launches in the future with 5G on board, right, cellular, Verizon's prepared, right? And very quickly, right? T-Mobile might not be as prepared. They're already using the fallow capacity model for FWA, and to further grow FWA through 2028 to 12 million, still using the fallow capacity model. So we'll see how that turns out in the future. I think Verizon strategy is much better prepared for anything in the future, right? Millimeter wave for stadiums, millimeter wave for bigger, dense populated areas in cities. So just much better prepared for whatever's to come. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. See y'all in the next one. Peace.